Hello ladies and gentlemen, we are back making another mini battle, and today we are creating a diorama focusing on the Battle of Ranar, in the Power Wars where the only currency left is that sweet, sweet energy. And the reason for this diorama is that I actually made another mini battle, but I actually wasn't too pleased with it, so let's try again. And with the base sorted, it's time to figure out the composition of the diorama, and I bought some leftover bits from the Bandai Millennium Falcon. Which leads us to my favourite time, and that's clay time. Using some air drying clay, I can quickly create the ground for this diorama, and after searching through my bits box, I finally found some tiny rocks, which aren't so tiny in this universe, but they'll look great at this scale. So after hot gluing them in place, the diorama needs a little bit more jazz. Maybe some more texture. Well, let's add some more clay, but this time Smart Mud 2.0, which is going to give us the perfect moon-like rock texture that this diorama needs. And where there are any gaps my fingers couldn't get to, I glued some sand in place to make sure everything is nice and filled out. With the diorama now fully built, let's give it a couple of sprays of paint, starting with a primer of black everywhere, then spraying white from above, so that I can see everything in detail and it makes it nice and easy to paint. So let's get painting. Using a very diluted grey, I started to paint all of the surface and the rocks to give it this nice moon-like feel. Then, to give the ground a nice highlight to brighten some things up, I've grabbed a lighter grey and started to dry brush all over the rocks and the surfaces of the general ground. As these kind of rocks are kind of emitting this lifeless grey feel, I decided to add some contrast to it by painting a very small wash of blue in all of the highlights. And then I grabbed some purples for all of the shadows to have this nice counter-contrast feel. And as this is one of the only few power generators on this moon, I was trying to come up with the colour scheme, and I thought what's better than some classic NASA punk aesthetics. Nice old white and orange. And for the top of the generator, where all of the wires and machinery is, I painted them in silver as well as all the side railings. And as some of the sand was stuck to this power generator, I carefully scratched it off with a knife, which actually added this really cool battle damaged effect, leaving just the prime behind. So next I painted all of the power cables and random wires, all those bits and bobs that are at the top of the generator, which leads us to a quick black wash, which will add some more detail and make it look nice and oily and decayed like it's been on this planet for years. So after removing the wash, I added some streaks of orange from the sand we just scratched off to even more add to that aged effect. And with the diorama finally painted, we can move over to painting some miniatures, and so I started to look around for some fun tiny miniatures I can use, and I found this cool robot mech that really reminded me of the mechs from one of my favourite games growing up, Mech Assault. And I wanted to paint this mech in a kind of mech scheme I saw from those games, so I kind of based off the Cougar, a nice red, not so much white but more of a black undertone. And in this world, mechs are only controlled by the royals and nobility, as the power required to wield these weapons of war is extravagant. And only the upper class can afford such a luxury, so to add to this, I painted some gold over the mech. And let's have a look at the other side of the battle, where blue team are fighting it out. Blue team decided to field a lot of infantry and an abomination. An abomination is a type of mech that is only driven by a noble that is either dying of old age or has been critically wounded. They can contain a sort of life stasis. Using pure energy, it will allow them to live forever, as long as there's that much needed energy. A lot of people will say it's better to be dead. So let's plop all these miniatures down, and we are finally done. And as always, I've been Reese. Like and sub if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!